Okay, welcome everyone. That's Andrea from Data Ninja, Italy. I'm here with on behalf of my company because we are partner of, of an Erasmus Plus project called Daedalus. You can see the homepage of the project on the right part of the screen. And I'm here with Davide Taibi from ITD-CNR, the National Research Council. That is the lead organization that manages this project, this research project funded under a strategic partnership action of Erasmus Plus program. And with Manuel Leon Uritia from the University of Southampton. Manuel, I see you in the second pieces of the screen, but I don't know if the screen is equal for everyone of us. So thanks for being with us, guys, and thanks for your work spent on this project. I will spend a few words just to introduce to everyone what this project is, and then I will ask you some questions on. We will share some thoughts about the activities we did, and in particular the research you, Manuel, headed from about the topic of discovering what kind of data competencies are among Italian universities, what are the needs of not Italian, European university, and what are the needs of companies in terms of job vacancies and job skills. Daedalus project is, as said before, just a few words, is funded under the Erasmus program, is a strategic partnership, and the payoff of the project is to developing data literacy courses for university students. And this project is focused basically in trying to analyze what is happening in European universities in terms of data-driven competencies. What are the needs of companies in order to hire some typical personnel that have competencies on data, and to develop a specific course program and a syllabus to define a kind of European-wide curriculum with the most important competencies based on data literacy, and to pilot this course and test in terms of feasibility, in terms of usability, in terms of efficiency. I will pass the ground to Manuel. That is the head of the research that we carried out in the first phase of the project. We carried out a research with different kind of research, and I want just ask you, Manuel, to explain us what is this research and what are the key findings that we discovered. So, please.
Hi, thank you, Andrea. So yes, I am from the University of Southampton, and I'm also within the University of Southampton. I lead the operation of the Southampton Data Science Academy, which is a kind of school where we teach online for professionals. We boost their data literacy and their data science skills. In this project, in Daedalus project, the University of Southampton is leading the intellectual output that consists of a kind of preliminary research project to find out. We tried to find out what are the needs and what are the current supplies of data literacy education around Europe, both in universities and CPD, continuous professional development programs, how professionals, how university students were taught into data literacy, how data literacy was addressed through the different programs in different faculties, different disciplines in the universities across Europe. So how did we go about it? Well, we were 8 partners from many different countries: Spain, Italy, Germany, Serbia, etc., Lithuania, and we took 2 countries, each partner, to and we embarked in a desk study. What did we do in this desk study? So from our home, from our computer, we just Googled. We just searched for programs that would address data literacy. Okay, data literacy, both in universities and in other kind of professional development provisions. Before that, we needed to define what is data literacy, because if it's not as easy as typing it in Google, right? Your data literacy programs, you don't get a list of that. So in different, especially in different language, there's many languages in which there's not even a translation for data literacy, like in Spain, for example, in my case. So we had to create a kind of common and a common model for looking for the same things in different countries. Okay, and so we did. So we found the common grounds, and we had many discussions on what we are really looking for, and we were looking for these programs especially in universities, these curricula in universities, where data literacy, as we understand data literacy, was addressed. And that was the first. So it was 2 stages, 2 stages of this research project. The first stage was the desk study, and then we had interviews with different stakeholders. But now we are going to focus on this first stage of the desk study. And what did we find? So what we found is obviously what we knew we were going to find, which is a huge, very wide variety of approaches, of modules, of frameworks for data literacy in different countries of Europe. And actually, many different countries of Europe would end up, if you search within this country, would end up in common frameworks, such a common European framework for digital literacies, which is not exactly the same as data literacy. So data literacy is many times understood as part of digital literacies, and we looked into it. So as I said, we find a huge variety and a huge difference in the levels of maturity into this provision. Levels of what we mean with levels of maturity is that there are countries where there is explicit mention and explicit official documents that provide guidelines to address data literacy in different educational sectors, especially where we focused on higher education. An example would be the United Kingdom, where they have a common set of guidelines published by a common and public body, which is called Universities OK. So it's Universities UK, I mean, where they set a list of data of how data literacy is addressed in each of the disciplines in the British higher education. How do you address data literacy in chemistry, or in humanities, or in journalism, and in any of the topics that are or subjects or degrees that are studied in the university? So this was one end of the spectrum, and then the most of the countries and most of our research would fall in the other end of the spectrum, where we considered that data literacy was very focused and very concentrated in computer science degrees, okay, and mathematical degrees, etc. So that's where most of the data literacy mentions or data literacy trainings were present. So from this from this extreme to the UK extreme, there we found a very wide variety of ways of addressing data literacy. We also searched for frameworks. There are places where the frameworks are quite defined as well, like in Ireland. In Ireland, for example, in Ireland they have a framework for data literacy, and this is how data literacy should be addressed and taught in universities and CPD and continuous professional development programs. So we wrote an article about it and we presented it in a conference, and we will disseminate it further, and then to be announced what we found in the interviews. In the interviews, we asked very relevant stakeholders, mainly recruiters or CEOs of companies, what are the skills and what are the competencies related to data literacy that are needed in so what they are looking for. And we are already putting together which of these competencies, which are very related to not only the ability to analyze data or to code or to program for produce statistics. So the main so in just a few words, the main aspects of data literacy and the main needs are the ability of the staff to extract value from data and to be able to critically assess the data that they are being supplied with, to deal with the huge data deluge, with the increased availability of data in quantity, variety, and quality. So now there's much more there's much more data available, and not everyone knows what to do with such a new easiness to find data, because now there's so much available. We need the competencies for assessing it and for extracting value from it. So that's more or less what we, in just a few words, it's a big research project, but those would be the highlights of it.
Okay, thank you. Davide, would you have something or?
Yeah, very
in order to comment.
Yeah, very quickly. Let me introduce myself. By the way, initially I'm Dario Taibi, a researcher from the Institute for Education Technology of the National Research Council of Italy, and I am coordinating this Daedalus project on data literacy for the university student. This project, as Andrea mentioned at the beginning, has been funded by the European Commission in the strategic partnership of the Erasmus Plus calls last year, and it consists of different intellectual output that will be produced, and the first one was the desk research that Manuel is going to present us, and the other intellectual output that allow us to understand better the aims of this project consists of the creation of a syllabus of data literacy, the development of tools connected to the syllabus, and the learning materials that have to be piloted with students at the end of the project. The aim of the project is very ambitious, as Manuel mentioned already. There is not a unique definition of data literacy. It's really something new. I mean, we have a definition for digital literacy, we have definition for information literacy or other related concept, but a specific definition of data literacy doesn't exist. And we also find out in our research that in several countries, such as in Serbia, that was one of the countries represented by one of the partner we have in Daedalus, there is not any reference to data literacy in the national context. And this is very important, especially if we consider data. It is extremely important now to have the basic competence to analyze data. And when I say analyze, I don't want to. I don't speak about scientific or technical competencies to analyze data, but even common persons need to have the competencies to look at charts, to understand what this chart means, or because we are really bumped by data everywhere, in newspaper, in our everyday life. So it is very important to have even a basic understanding, even basic competencies that, as I said, it doesn't mean only technical or, I don't know, machine learning, artificial intelligence skills that, of course, are very focused only for persons with the technical background. And one of the objective of the Daedalus project is also to consider the data literacy in a university context, in which even in which data is not commonly developed. Just to give you an example, for instance, in the humanities domain, but even in the social science, in cognitive science, for instance, the data are more and more important. So, and having competencies and working with data is more and more required, even in this sector, in which commonly are not close to the technical domain. So this is my consideration, just to give you an overview of the project, and I think that very important insights have been extracted from this first step of the project, that is connected to the desk research that has been conducted in 12 countries in Europe. As Manuel mentioned before, each partners analyzed not only their own country but also another country in Europe, and it was very interesting because we adopted a specific template. So the University of Southampton gave us the methodology to conduct the research, and we were able to have this. Now we have this comparative study. And we have this report that analyzed the situation of the data literacy in, we can say, a wide range of countries in Europe.
I want to thank you, David. I want to highlight this aspect that, on my opinion, is very interesting, because we usually hear about the data regarding data science or big data, but in this field research, in this desk research and interviews-based research, we discovered that a lot of people need to understand the basics of data. So the data literacy just to as a meaning just to understanding what a single chart would mean, and it is very important this period, because we are facing a big social issue called, as you know, coronavirus and COVID-19. So every day we are facing that kind of, but people, everyone is facing this kind of problem, this issue. every day we know about institutions, about politicians, and new data about this virus, the spread of the virus, but how people is capable to understand. We need to work more. Do you agree on this aspect? We need to work more in the field of spreading basic competencies of data.
I think that is fundamental. Actually,
yeah.
I think that honestly, I think that is fundamental because let me give you an example. I mean, every day we have a report from our agency, Italian agency, about the numbers of positive cases. But we have this exact number of positive cases. Today are 10,000. That is very impressive. I mean, when I look at the numbers today, I was a bit scared to tell you the truth. And if you compare this number to the ones that we have in March, we have almost doubled the numbers of cases now. But actually, if we compare the number of exams that have been done now with respect to the ones that have been done in March, are 5 times more. It doesn't mean that we can stay calm and we can just look at the things. Of course, we have to react to that. But maybe the situation is not as critical as the ones that the newspaper would like to, or at least, actually, yeah, the newspaper report the number, but it is in charge of us to analyze or to understand better the meaning of this data. And this, I'm just talking about a very simple thing. I mean, just a ratio between the number of positive cases with the number of exams that they do every day. And this is a very basic things. I mean, we can. The division of two numbers, everyone can do that, but we have to promote the data culture. This is what we need at the moment. So we should push this concept.
Yeah, this is very much in line with the aims and the mission of this project. It's not only, it's like we in most of the partners in this project, they are very keen. We are very keen into education but in big capital letters, yeah, which means education is not is not only about enhancing the skills of the workforce. It's not getting the workers more skilled in their job. It's also getting the citizens wiser and more prepared to deal with with this with this bombardment of information and data that we are receiving as a society, not only as a workforce, not only as professionals for our job, also as citizens, as people who live in a place that we have to share with others, and we live in a society with a lot of data available. So data literacy for us in this project is not we are not only trying to enhance the skills of people who are in the universities for do better at their work. We are trying to promote a culture of being able to critically assess the data that is available, and also to know about the rights and other aspects of data, as in, can we use this data? What is private? What is public? What should be protected? What should be shared? Yeah. So it's a very wide range of competencies that we are aiming to promote around not only the workforce but everyone else.
Okay. So I totally agree with you guys, but totally. So just to spend a few words about the project and understand what will be the next steps that we will carry out. And in terms of research, we are defining, I think, the final key finding, a kind of instruction to be used in the production of the course, and then we will work to the creation on the creation of the course. So if you can add some words on explanation of what I said about the final key findings and course creation. Manuel before and David. My mistake. Okay.
Yeah. So with those key findings, apart from disseminating them in papers that we have in academic articles that we have written, in blogs that we have disseminated, and academic papers that we will keep writing. So it's not we haven't written our last publication yet about the project. We will our findings, we are using them to inform a competency framework that we are creating, and this competency framework will be used for defining the learning objectives or the learning aims or the learning outcomes of the course that we will design later on. So these are the more or less the stages. So the research project will inform the framework will inform the course, and actually the course, we will run this course and we will evaluate it, and we will see how this has infused or has promoted data literacy around the target audience of this course. So that would be more or less the David. Is there anything else that you would add to this process?
Yeah, the process is exactly as you described. I mean, the finding of this research will inform the development, of the competence framework, and in turn the development of the syllabus of the courses, and it was very important because thanks to this desk research, we were able to identify which are the requirements of the business sector, which were the expectancy also from the university perspective, because as I said, we are not just talking about the data domains from the technical perspective, but we are also analyzing the sector of the humanities, and it is very important to intersect which requirements they would like to have with respect to when it comes to data and the data domain. So the desk research for us was the basic, so the fundamental step that inform all the other steps of the process. And after the syllabus, we have the identification of learning materials, and afterwards, at the final step, we will have the pilot of the learning materials with students. And in several, what is interesting in Daedalus is that we have several universities, and each of them representing different sectors. We have the sociology, for instance, the University of Milan, but we have also the Southampton that is more focused on the technical aspect, let me say, the more data-oriented courses. So we have really even if we have only 8 partners, we are representing very different contexts. So very interesting. I really am really confident that we will have very interesting results at the end.
Okay, thank you. It's very clear. I don't know if you want to add anything else to this discussion. Otherwise, I will bring my thank you and I think it was a great discussion, and I hope to have other ones in this month during our work. Let me give you some little hints for the ones that will see this video. This is the website of Daedalus project, and at the bottom of the page of the video, you can see the web address of the website. We will keep the website updated with our findings and with any updates that will be done by the project consortium. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you, Manuel. Thank you, Davide.
Thank you, Nelson, to have made this possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, my poor English, but thank you, guys, and see you soon.
See you.
Bye.
Bye. Have a nice weekend, by the way.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.